everybody, it's Dana and welcome back to day 2 of the holiday card series. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of stenciling with this beautiful color layering stencil. This is a Snowflake stencil from Hero Arts, and I wanted to try out the Lisa Horton Cloud 9 Interference inks. So I have one color here that is milk chocolate and roses, and then we're going to do Mermaid Lagoon and then Royal Truffle. So this is the first time I have actually used this product. I have seen it. I have seen it in action. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So I decided, let's go ahead and try it with a Christmas card. Now, the colors I'm using obviously are not going to be Christmas colors. And if you've been around this channel for a while, you know that's me. I do not like having to make holiday cards always in Christmas colors. So we're going to stretch our mind today and we're going to go ahead and use these inks instead. I started off with a piece of a white cardstock. This is Hero Arts white cardstock, Dove White. And I'm also going to use my large Altenew grip mat to hold everything in place. Now, for these inks, I'm going to use foam daubers for these. I'm not going to use my blending brush. So I have a foam dauber that is ready to go. And now we're going to go ahead and start adding in this color. The first thing I notice about this ink is it goes on like butter. It is so smooth and it's a very, very juicy ink pad. Now, I am adding medium pressure in some areas and lighter pressure in other because I just want to see what kind of variation I can get with this ink. Now, since I have that first layer down, I can go ahead and lift this back and let's see what we have. So go ahead and take the ink pad and put it out the side and then, ooh, that's very pretty. I like this. All right, let's go ahead and line up stencil number 2. Now this stencil is fairly easy to line up. I'm just looking off to the side to see the packaging, but it really ends up lining up super, super easy. Now we're going to come in, because we did the Mermaid Lagoon, let's come in with the milk chocolate and roses. So the thing about these inks is that there's 2 colors. If you look on the lid, there's a lighter shade and then a darker shade. The darker shade is what we're going to see on black cardstock. The lighter shade, we're going to have like a lighter brown. So I wanted to test that because I wasn't sure about this color at first. I wanted to test it on a scratch piece of paper, but I think this will go gorgeous with that blue that we have going on. Now I can go ahead and lift this off. And I'll have a pretty, this color is really hard to describe. It is like a milky chocolate, like it says, but it's almost like a darker caramel, in my opinion. But it is so beautiful. So again, this color combination is not a normal color combination. We're not doing our traditional reds and greens here. We're totally going outside the box, and you guys know I love that. So next I'm going to come in with, this is the Royal Truffle, and this is going to be a darker brown. I do like to tap off some of the ink onto my mat because I said these ink pads are really, really juicy. Now what's going to blow your mind is that this comes out to be this gorgeous purple shade. It is absolutely amazing. So once I pull back this stencil, you're going to be like, oh my God, okay, Royal Truffle it is. It just comes out to be this really shimmery purple color, even though it looks brown. So you're not going to really be able to see everything right now. You're going to have to wait until I lift this card up, and then you're going to see the shimmer that these inks allow us to have on our cards. So I'm going to press down that last one, and I decided I needed to bring in another color. So I'm going to do Lavender Fields. But again, I want to test this out just to make sure it's going to go okay with the rest of the colors I have. Absolutely love, love, love this purple color. I'm going to go ahead and put that truffle back down to make sure that looks good in the blue. And I think that is a gorgeous, untraditional color palette. All right, so On this last stencil, there is not a lot to cover here. So I'm going to go in and look how vibrant this is. Again, I do not have to use a lot of ink here because this, like I said, it goes on like butter and you can really spread that ink out that you have on your stencil already. And you really don't have to apply much of this. Now I'm going to go ahead and reveal. This is the best part about stenciling, you guys. And look how pretty that is. Absolutely love this. I'm going to pick this up just so you can kind of see the shimmer, but this is absolutely gorgeous. Now that we have our background done, I decided to pull out this stamp bundle from Hero Arts. This is called Joyful Christmas Messages. And what I love about this, they're sub-sentiment, regular sentiments, but they're not really large that they're going to overpower this beautiful background. Like we worked really hard on this. I guess I should say not really hard. The ink did all the work for us. But I do want to go ahead and put a sentiment on this. Now, if I was smart and I thought about this in advance, I might have blocked off an area before I started stenciling to have that area to put my sentiment, but that's okay. I can always pop up a sentiment on this. So I don't know really which one I want yet. So I'm going to pull out the Merry Christmas and the Peace and Joy because you guys know I like to have my last name on my Christmas cards. That's the best thing about having this last name is the holidays are all mine. So this is just a piece of Dove White cardstock again. I'm going to stick that into the corner of my MISTI. And once I line these up, I'm going to give myself enough room that I can die cut these out. I don't want to cluster them too close because I do want to use the coordinating dies that come with this Joyful Christmas Message bundle. That's going to make it easy for me to just go ahead and stamp this out and then die cut it. Now, if you did not have the dies, you can totally fussy cut this or you can trim it out into a square, totally up to you. But I really do like having this bundle available. I did prime those sentiments because this is the first time I'm using them. And I think people come back in with the milk chocolate roses because that brown color is so pretty. And I don't want to have anything that's going to compete too much with that beautiful background we have. And so I feel like this color is light enough that is going to be a nice complement to this. So this, again, is the first time I'm stamping with this ink because, like I said in the beginning, I had never used these inks before, but I'm so glad I have. Now, if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe because this series is going to go on for a couple days. And I also will be having extra cards over on my blog as well as my Instagram. So you can visit those places as well. They'll be at the end of this video because I have a lot of products that I want to use this year. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to make a video for every single one. But if you visit my blog, I will have links to all the products that I had used for these cards so you can pick them up if you want to. Now, if you want to see more holiday cards from me, you can click the links in the description and it's going to give you all of my holiday card series. I think I've been doing this since 2015. So I have plenty of holiday inspiration. But if I just tilt this, you can see this just a little bit, but I did make sure to heat set this ink, you guys. To me, it was a little wet and I did not want to smear it. So while I was getting ready to die cut this out and stamp this, I had the other piece of cardstock kind of sitting off to the side drying. I think if I was going to use it right away, I really might heat set it as well because, like I said, the ink is like really juicy and I'm not sure if it would smear, but to be on the safe side, I would just say quickly heat set it or just put it aside while you're cutting out your sentiments. And then this way you don't have to worry about it smearing. Now, I could be wrong. It might not ever smear. But since this is my first go around with these inks, that's just a suggestion for me seeing how it works on the paper. So now I have all of my sentiments done, and then I can go ahead and run this through my die cut machine. All right, once I have these die cut out, I did put some tape on there, but I do like to use my little pokey tool in order to push those out. But look how pretty those sentiments are. I am only going to use one of these sentiments. So I'm going to take the other one and just set it aside because I do plan on making more of this kind of style card. So I'll just hold on to that one to put onto a different card panel later. Now we have this gorgeous piece here, and look, I tilted it and you can see just that shimmer. And I think for this card, I might just use the Peace and Joy. I think the Christmas is very pretty as well, but I feel like I just want your eye to kind of like settle right in the middle and not really have anything that's a two line or that separate that might compete with this. So I think the Peace and Joy is going to work perfectly for this card. It just really looks good with it. All right, I went ahead and trimmed down this piece of cardstock, the one I stenciled. I did about a quarter of an inch on each side because I wanted to have just a clean white border. Now, I know I'm making this card here, but you're going to see a version of this that is actually done on black cardstock over on my blog. After I had stopped filming this, I absolutely needed to see what that card looked like if I did it with the same inks, but I did it in black. And oh my word, it is striking. So if you want to see that card, make sure to head on over to my blog. Again, my blog is listed at the end with all of my Instagram and Facebook and all that. So make sure to visit so you can see what this looks like on black cardstock. I will definitely be using these Lisa Horton inks again and again and again because I don't know, to me, they're just simply magical. All right, I went ahead and put a little bit of a paperweight on my card so it would adhere down while I went ahead and put some double-sided tape on the back of my sentiment. Now I could have, because I had the dies, and I think I have shown this in other videos, if you have the die, cut it out multiple times. So this way you can have, you don't have to necessarily use foam tape. But in my case, I was on a roll and I totally forgot to die cut multiples of this. So I can go ahead and press that down in the center and look how gorgeous that is. Now I did feel like I wanted to add just a little something, something to the center of these snowflakes. So I grabbed my Trinity, I believe these are iridescent white baubles. They will be listed down below in the description box. But I think this just adds a little bit of, I don't want to call it sparkle, but a little bit of iridescence to this card that also matches like the iridescent that we have in the ink itself. So I went ahead and picked out a few and I kind of varied them in sizes depending on how big my snowflake was. But this just adds just that little finishing touch to the card. Now you can totally make this card without it, but I think having these little last minute embellishments really does step up your cards. All right, I'm going to put this last one on. And here is our finished card. Now, when I bring this up, you're totally going to be able to see the shimmer in this card. It is absolutely stunning. All right, everybody, thank you for hanging around for day 2. I will see you for day 3 in just a little bit. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.